All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about how to write the perfect bug report. And I mean the kind that gets issues fixed fast and makes you an absolute hero to your engineering team.
Sound familiar? Of course it does. We've all been caught in this loop. The support team can see the problem clear as day, but the developers, they can't find it. And boom, the ticket gets closed. It is just this endless cycle of frustration that, let's be honest, wastes everybody's time.
But here's the thing. What if the problem isn't the bug itself, or the developer? Nope. The real villain here, the thing causing all this friction, is just a breakdown in communication. It almost always comes down to a vague, unhelpful bug report.
So in this explainer, we are going to fix that for good. We'll start with the anatomy of a perfect report, then figure out the difference between impact and urgency, see why evidence is king, and finally, we'll turn a terrible ticket into something a developer can actually work with.
First things first, the absolute foundation of it all, the anatomy of a great report. I want you to think of this as the blueprint for clarity. If you get this part right, you are, no joke, 80% of the way there.
Every single great bug report has 4 parts that you just can't skip. You need a clear title, the technical environment, super precise steps to reproduce, and a simple comparison of what you expected versus what actually happened. Let's break each one down. Look at this. The difference is night and day. Software crashes tells a developer nothing. It's useless. But a good title like this one tells a whole story. It explains the what and the where. It's so specific that a developer can scan their to-do list and know exactly what the problem is without even opening the ticket.
Next up, the environment. Your developers are not mind readers. They absolutely need to know where this bug happened. Was it on a Mac, a Windows machine, Chrome, or Safari? Giving them the OS, the browser version, maybe even a specific user ID, it just eliminates all the guesswork and lets them jump straight into the right context.
And here we are, the big one. If there is one thing you take away from this, let it be this. If a developer can't reproduce the bug, they can't fix the bug. It's that simple. This section needs to be your step-by-step recipe for failure, a numbered list of the exact actions you took. No ambiguity, no skipping steps. This is, without a doubt, the most important part of the whole report.
And finally, we get to the payoff. You just have to clearly state what you thought was going to happen, and then what actually happened. This simple little contrast frames the entire problem perfectly. It tells the developer, hey, the system was supposed to do X, but instead it did Y. The goal is clear, and the failure is even clearer.
Okay, so once you've completely nailed the structure, it's time to level up. Now we're talking about understanding the difference between a bug's impact and its urgency. This is where we start getting really strategic.
This chart breaks it down perfectly. Severity is all about the technical impact. How badly does this bug break the system? That's usually a call for the quality assurance or testing team. Priority, on the other hand, is about business urgency. How fast do we need to fix this thing? That's a decision for the product manager. And you got to remember, they are not the same thing.
Here's a perfect example. A tiny little typo on the home page is technically minor, right? It has a very low severity. But what if that typo is in the company's name, and it's the day before a huge product launch? All of a sudden, that tiny bug is a high-priority, all-hands-on-deck emergency for the business.
And now let's look at the flip side. Let's say a feature deep in the admin panel completely crashes an entire section. Technically, that's high severity, it's a major failure. But if it's a feature that almost no one uses and it doesn't affect a single paying customer, well, the priority to fix it might actually be super low compared to everything else.
So we've got structure and we've got prioritization. Now let's talk about the superpower that ties it all together: visual evidence. Because a picture, or even better, a video, is worth 1,000 lines of text.
A screenshot is fantastic, but it's not always the answer. So you have to ask yourself, when is it not enough? Well, it's not enough when the problem isn't static, when the issue involves a process or a series of clicks, or maybe something that just flashes on the screen for a split second.
Here's a really simple way to think about it. Use screenshots for static problems you can just point to. You know, a typo, a button that's in the wrong place, a layout issue. But for anything that involves a sequence of events, like a complicated checkout flow, or a bug that only happens sometimes, or a weird animation glitch, a screen recording is going to be infinitely more valuable.
Now, the really powerful thing here is how much work you don't have to do anymore. Modern tools like UserSnap, BugHerd, and Loom don't just record your screen. They automatically capture all that crucial environment data we were talking about.
Console logs, browser info, network requests, it's all just bundled up and attached for the developer, automatically.
And the impact of this is huge. Seriously. The data shows that teams using these kinds of tools can see their bug resolution times drop by as much as 40%. Just think about that for a second. That's a massive jump in efficiency, all from just providing better evidence up front.
Okay, time to put it all together. We're going to take everything we've just learned and use it to transform a completely hopeless bug report into something a developer can actually, fix.
This is what developers get all the time. Payment fails sometimes. It's totally useless. There's no title, no environment, no steps, no evidence. It just creates more questions than answers and is basically guaranteed to be closed with cannot reproduce.
So we work our magic. We give it a descriptive title that explains what's happening. We add numbered, precise steps to reproduce the exact failure. We define what should have happened versus the error message that popped up. And, most importantly, we attach a screen recording showing the entire thing with all that technical data included.
And this is the result of all that work. You go from a confused developer stuck in an endless email chain to an empowered developer who has literally everything they need to start working on a fix right away. No more questions, no more delays.
You see, this isn't just about writing better tickets. It's about respecting your team's time. It's about speeding up development, and ultimately, it's about shipping a better product. A great bug report is one of the most powerful communication tools you have. So the only question left is, how much friction could you remove from your team?